We're about to visit Alaska on a cruise ship. Alaska isn't what most people think about when pondering the idea of a cruise. Most think of a cruise and have images of like a tropical beach pop to their mind. But I'm hoping our experiences in Alaska can show you that narrowing your view to just the tropics probably has you missing out. But let me get something kind of negative about taking an Alaskan cruise out of the way first. When you take a cruise to, say, the Bahamas, you're used to probably going to somewhere like Miami and just immediately being able to get to the port and get on the boat. Well, an Alaskan cruise isn't so easy. Being from the Midwest, we had to fly to Anchorage. But to get to Anchorage, we had a 3.5-hour flight to Seattle, followed by a 3-hour layover at that airport before getting on a 2.5-hour flight up to Anchorage. But that's not the end of our initial trip to get there, because the boat was actually docked in Seward, which, come to find out, is a 3-hour bus ride from the airport in Anchorage to get to our boat. So let's just say it was a long travel day, and we were very happy when we finally got to our stateroom.
There's the light. Here we go. Okay. Our humble abode for the next week.
We chose an interior room for a very specific reason that I'll get to in a minute. But first, let's cover some of the things that you probably think I'm missing out on with an interior room. For an interior stateroom, they're usually a bit smaller than the ones with, say, a window or even a balcony. But let's be honest, the room is for getting ready and sleeping. So do you really need a ton of room for that? But then there are those that are going to say, but hey, what about the great view of Alaska that you'll get from your room if you have a window or a balcony? But you can get that view from anywhere on the ship. And if you're not going to spend a ton of time in your room, point one, then why do you need to have a great view from your room? So those are probably the biggest two arguments that people use to decide to get a bigger room on the exterior of the ship. But let me explain that point as to why we chose not to beyond those arguments. It's the price. It costs $3,418.38 for our cruise for the internal room. And this was before the $2,224 for the excursions. So adding another $300 for a little window or $3,500 for a balcony was out of the question. Besides, we had plenty of gorgeous views from the pool deck or one of the lounges where we could also have drinks. But I'll cover more of the onboard activities in a future episode, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. But I know what you really want to see more about right now. Let's check out some of our excursions. For our first experience in a helicopter, we couldn't have picked a better location because the scenery was gorgeous. The flight was extremely smooth too. So we were able to focus on the snowy mountains around us without thoughts to any turbulence. To be honest, I can't recommend this excursion enough. I mean, just look at those views. We also went a little cheesy with attending a lumberjack show, but it's the fun kind of cheesy.
Keep cheering on till the very end. It isn't over.
Another amazing experience was dog sledding on a snow-capped glacier. This was honestly the excursion I was the most excited for leading up to our trip. It strangely, though, ended up being both less and more than what I'd expected as I built it up in my head before we arrived. More on that in a future episode. And just like we did out near Seattle, we took a whale watching trip.
You seem so happy.
I am. They're coming over here.
And the captain did not disappoint as we found plenty of humpback whales. And that's just a taste of the excursions we took that we'll deep dive more in later episodes for this season. But let's talk more about the ports.
I was about to be like, welcome to Icy Straight Point, and then all of a sudden I had the thought of like the welcome to Jurassic Park.
Said like 2 minutes. Yeah.
We did our best to take in everything that each port had to offer, including free gondola rides and some of their hiking trails.
Travel in groups of 10 or more and talk while you walk. We are 2 people. So what brings you to Alaska? The bears. I can't even see your face because that hood that you have on.
Keep my face warm.
But most importantly to us, each time we reached a port where we had a decent phone signal, we had to check in on our daughter.
Hi, sweetie. What you doing?
Hi. We don't have great service, but we just wanted to see your face.
And that's just a taste of what's coming this season as we dive into all the elements, both good and bad, of our Alaskan cruise with Norwegian. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out, and we'll catch you next time.